Well, Mark Robinson, it's your first game in charge of an FA Cup game, so you must be quite excited about that, yeah?
Never thought about it, Rob, but yeah, I am now. You said it. Yeah, no, it is exciting. Well, I love the FA Cup. Growing up as a kid, you know, it's still for me the greatest club cup competition in the world. So I hadn't thought about myself personally. I was just excited about the FA Cup. But yeah, no, it's great. We're all looking forward to it.
Particularly with this club as well. I mean, you go back to the 70s, you think of Dickie Guy, you obviously think about the 88 Cup final, and even more recently, Toby Civic heading in against West Ham to make it 4-2. There's a lot of links to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. We obviously got, we've got that tradition in it. There are loads and loads of clubs that can't say they've won the FA Cup. We can, so we've got that tradition, and it's very similar to the lads in the FA Youth Cup. They know there's pressure to perform there, so there is that pressure. There is to win any game, and we've got that tradition in it. So we'll be looking to carry on that tradition and have a great run in the competition.
I mean, League One is obviously top priority and making progress, but the FA Cup for you, as well as you're saying, a special place in your heart, and it's important we make progress in that too.
Yeah, and I really, I was determined to get away from that this season, where you have priority, because I think as a football fan, you have a start of a season and you want to look forward to every game of football that you go and watch. So our priority was to really sort of push on all fronts and not have that excuse in terms of League One survival, etc. That we want to do well in all competitions. So we're obviously really pleased with the run we had in the Carabao Cup, and that's why I've been a little bit not upset but frustrated with the situation with the Papa Johns, because it's still another competition we would have loved to have kicked on. So the injury problems have held us back on that, but certainly with the FA Cup, it's something we want to do really, really well in. And even though the squad is a little bit light at the moment, I see absolutely no reason why we can't do well in the FA Cup and then continue and then get our form back where it needs to be in the league.
You look at the stage we've got as well, and you get to perhaps like January and you get any of the big four come to us, if we can get that far. It'd be set up fantastically if we could make that far, yeah.
Definitely, and as I said, football's about memories, whether you're playing or whether you're a fan, and we want to create memories and we want to get people excited. So we know our form hasn't been where it needs to be in the league, and we need to get back to that. But as I said, we give the fans some memories in the Carabao Cup, and the players give themselves some memories, and that's what it's all about. That's what being involved in football's all about. So we'll be doing everything we can to get through and have a really good run in it.
How's things been this week, particularly since, of course, the lengthy meeting you had at the Abbey Stadium last Saturday?
Yeah, it was good, and I think maybe that in certain areas that meeting was misconstrued from what I've heard from certain people. It wasn't me, I didn't call a meeting, it was just the players, and I just let it, as Chris rightly pointed out on that night. Normally I'm not a big one for having loads of chats after games because emotions are too high, but on this occasion the players started it and were talking, and I just thought it was really good to let it run, because as I said, there was a few players that are normally a bit quiet that were saying things, so I just let it grow really, and then I added my 2 pennies worth in towards the end. But it certainly wasn't me talking, it was the players talking, other members of the staff talking, and I felt like it was a healthy place, although it came from a place of frustration and upset and disappointment initially. It sort of, in the end we come to a little bit of a conclusion there, but I think the fact that we're 3.5 hours from home and the players held a meeting that went on for 1 hour and 10 minutes tells you how much they care. So I can only look at it as a positive. It's not something you want to be happening every week, because obviously it becomes pointless, but they felt it was right at the time, so I let it go. So and now we've had a really good week's training. It's been really positive, and the lads are at it. There's always little ups and downs, but that's the way we work, because we're trying to build this real honest culture where people can say how they're feeling, and so there's always moments where you have to address things, but it's good.
So with Guiseley, of course, this Saturday in the FA Cup, I mean, I suppose it's a lot more easier now these days to get information even on sides further down. You can probably, our team of analysts have even got their shoe size down for us as well, but how have things gone in terms of that?
Yeah, obviously we've given them the respect they deserve by having a look at what they do, and they like to play. They like to play, and they're a big, strong, physical side, but not in terms of they don't like to play football. They also like to play football. So we'll be giving them exactly the respect they deserve, and realise that how good we're going to need to be to go through to the next round.
In terms of team news, is anybody else out?
No, we're all good. Only poor Sue had a positive COVID test, so Paul's had to isolate. So Paul's out, poor Sue's out, which is unfortunate for him. But everyone else, no, we're all good to go.
Encouraged in terms of Ollie Palmer's fitness to be able to play a little bit more part this week?
Yeah, so Ollie, if selected, should be able to play a bigger part tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. So that's something I've got to obviously sit down and think about what we do in regards to tomorrow.
And you mentioned the FA Youth Cup game. Great style of play. I mean, I know James Oliver Pearce still could obviously see room for improvement there, very much so, but was there any reaction back as well from the first team players? They thought, well, wow, the style of play that the whole club wants to play really catches the eye there.
Yeah, and that was very much our conversation after Cambridge. The big thing that would come out of it is win, lose or draw. We have to be ourselves in games, and I felt we went away from that from Cambridge. And what I tried to explain to the lads is when you don't see things through off the ball, you can put a hell of a lot of concentration on what you need to be off the ball, and then you forget what you are on the ball. And I really don't want us to go away from what we are on the ball, because I feel that's what's got the fans excited earlier in the season. When you look at the Oxford result and the Bolton game and the Morecambe game, that's what's built the attachment with the fans, and that's what's attracting new fans. So it's so important we keep that. And then looking at the bigger picture, it's so important that transfers down through the academy so they can see a style. So James and all the other age group coaches know exactly how we want to play, and it needs to be seamless throughout the club, and that will help us grow. And I think James was right to have high standards, because I felt the first 15 minutes the lads looked nervy and didn't express themselves, but then once they got going, they played some really good football. If anything, probably the second half, I thought they played some lovely stuff and didn't score the amount of goals they deserved. So no, but we need that seamless transition, but we also need those seamless demands. So from a personal perspective, it was good to see that James has those standards, and I know he will.
To focusing on us, Sterling, of course, tomorrow with the game against Guiseley, you've already said that there's perhaps a physical approach to it with them. We know that they're going to get moments in the game, but I suppose it's for us, focusing on us as well, to really how we're going to cope with those things, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, and that's the key why we need to grow our identity on the ball, because when you come up against whoever you're going to come up against, there's two ways to nullify the opposition, and one is to be really good off the ball and see your jobs out, but fundamentally the strongest approach is always for us to be better on the ball and carry more of a threat and have more possession. And when I say possession, I mean possession with a purpose, because then you're nullifying obviously what they do. So we need to really, that's what we need to try and do tomorrow, but we need to do that against all the sides we play, even if they're sides that we know, that have got huge budgets and huge expectations. That has to be our end goal, is to get to the stage where we go toe to toe with everyone, and that we can stamp our identity, and as these younger players grow and understand the game a little bit more, that we don't get undone by silly little things that have cost us so far this season.
Robbo, thanks for your time.